Often, we need to make decisions with limited information. We need to give justification for how accurate we think our decision has been. Remember Joy Milne? We studied her in the very first day of class. She claimed that she was able to smell Parkinson's disease. Well, researchers wanted to test and see if she could, because if they could, they would like to do some research and find out what it was that she was smelling. The interesting thing here is that in March of 2019, Perdita Barón, that lady here on the right, standing next to Joy Milne, did that research because they were convinced that she could, in fact, smell Parkinson's disease. Researchers wanted to know if Joy Milne really could smell Parkinson's as she claimed. They did an experiment to help to decide. You'll remember the experiment. She was given some t-shirts. Joy was given 12 t-shirts. 6 had been worn by people diagnosed to have Parkinson's, and 6 were people who had not been diagnosed to have Parkinson's. Joy was then challenged to choose which were which. Now, there are some assumptions here. If she's guessing, then we would expect her to get 6 correct and 6 wrong. Of course, she wouldn't always get exactly 6 right and 6 wrong. If we did the experiment again and again, there would be some times that she got more than 6 right, and sometimes she got less than 6 right. But on the long run, we would expect that she'd get 50% of them right, or the proportion of correct ones would be 0.5. On the other hand, if she really can smell Parkinson's, she may occasionally make mistakes. So there's 2 hypotheses. Either she is guessing, in which case the proportion would be 0.5 in the long run, or she can really smell Parkinson's, and her proportion would be greater than 0.5. This alpha level that we've got listed here, the alpha level is the value that's going to help us to decide, well, which one of these are we going to choose? Because there could be a mistake either way. So when we're through with the experiment, we're going to choose to either reject the null hypothesis or fail to reject the null hypothesis. Now look, there are 2 ways that we can make mistakes and 2 ways that we could come out correct. If the null hypothesis is true and we reject the null hypothesis, then we're making what is called a type 1 error. On the other hand, if the null hypothesis is false and we reject the null hypothesis, then we made no error. We made the right choice. On the other hand, if we fail to reject the null hypothesis, but the null hypothesis is true, then we made no error. If we fail to reject the null hypothesis, and the null hypothesis is false, then we've made a type 2 error. So maybe we can't be certain about our decision, but this chapter is going to talk about how we make reasonable choices with limited information. You can do this. Okay, see you in class.